Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Pick your ass up and wipe that crust out your eye. You're locked into the hottest morning show in the country, the Beat Break Morning Show. It's your girl Trina. Let me kickstart your day. Pick your ass up and wipe that crust out your eye. You're locked into the hottest morning show in the country, the Beat Break Morning Show. It's your girl Trina. Let me kickstart your day. Pick your ass up and wipe that crust out your eye. You're locked into the hottest morning show in the country, the Beat Break Morning Show. It's your girl Trina. Let me kickstart your day.
All right, let's get it. Welcome to the Beat Break Morning Show, ladies and gentlemen, right here on WBX 107.1 FM in Atlanta. Also on Podcast FM 87. You can also watch us on the Honey app, streaming on your Roku TV and on your Fire TV. You know the name, Sean Garvey, ladies and gentlemen. We always do it each and every weekday morning, 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. to be exact. Follow us at Beat Break Radio. Man, listen, we are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about a treat. I'm talking about goodies. I'm talking about all the goodies in the candy shop, ladies and gentlemen. We got a special guest in the building. We got a special guest in the studio. You may have heard of her. Very big on the adult scene, both her and her husband. I've known these people from the WALK days when they were on a show that I once upon a time produced. And I didn't know who they were. You know, I had no idea what their backstory was or anything. I thought it was a couple coming in to talk about love and how to make a relationship work and, you know, the things that couples do. But then when the host at the time that I was producing for started having a conversation with them about the porn industry and about adult entertainment and stuff, and they revealed to the listening audience what they actually do and what their lifestyle was, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. What kind of show am I what kind of show am I producing? So I knew I had to build a rapport with this young lady, and you know, me and her, we've been on and off communication ever since, because she got books out, she got some literature out, some good stuff that I can't wait to talk about. She got one book called The Buy in Me, that we're going to get into in just a few moments. But her new book, The Buy in Me 2, and it's already out. It's on Amazon. I'm very intrigued just by the title alone, the Buy in Me. So if you have any kids, just a disclaimer before we go any further, if you have any kids, you might want to put them to bed. I don't care if it's summer. I don't care. It's summer and school is out. I know you allowing your kids to stay up late past their usual bedtime, but for this particular show, you're gonna need to put the kids to bed early, or you may need to have them step out of the living room or out of the room for a moment, put on some headphones. I mean, you might want to put them in the other room and have them watch Paw Patrol or something. I don't know, whatever animated, whatever. I mean, millions, and whatever animated show is out there, because this is for the grown and the very, very sexy. Y'all give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Ladee Vee in the studio.
Yes, I love the intro.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you so
you
much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on the Beat Break Morning Show this morning, this evening, whatever time zone you are listening to. But we really appreciate it because you hit me up in my DM. We get a lot
Yes.
of people that slide into the DMs for a reason, for a particular reason. And when I saw you put the link in the DM of what you're promoting, which is the Buy Me Part 2, I was like, wait a minute. Something tells me that I need to bring you on so you can talk about this piece of literature,
Yes.
for the Buy Me too. But we're gonna get into all that and more. But I want you to walk me and us through your lifestyle. For those, especially our new viewers and new listeners that may not know, you and your husband have a very unique lifestyle. Uh,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
let's dive right into that, shall
Let's like we're going right on in, right?
we? We're going to the deep end. We're going to the deep end. Let's
Well,
do it. Let's go.
my husband and I have been married on Friday would be 22 years. We met within 3 months, and we got married. And we've been married ever since. And we started our company called DB Passion, and we help everyone navigate open relationships, openness, within the relationship and their sexuality, being able to talk about it freely without any judgment. We've been doing this for the past 16 years. And this has been a part of our life where we are now seminar speakers, but we also have an open relationship as well. So I'm very bisexual, i.e., where my book name came from, The Bi in Me. But I've been bisexual since the age of 12. And I talk about it very freely. And in my book, I go through a journey of my life. So where it helps out people that may have went through different dynamics, from religion to their sexuality to even dealing with something very early that I had to deal with, which was molestation very early in my life. And I open up about my experience in hoping that it will help someone else.
Now, bi, of course, is short for bisexual. And
Yes. Ah.
yeah, and now there's much of a bigger noise coming from the LGBTQIA community. And with you coming out at the age of 12, let's
Mm,
let's go let's go let's go back. Let's go back to the age of 12, and
yes.
some of the experiences that you've been through. Of course, some of what you just detailed is very traumatic. um how did your family or your parents take it when they found out, or when you vocally told them about this new lifestyle?
Well, I didn't tell my family until I was a little bit older. So I think they knew, but they wasn't really acceptant of it back then, because we're talking about Brooklyn, New York, where my family, I come from a Pentecostal background. My grandfather was a bishop. So I
Mm.
had to live up to the critique of what relationship is and marriage is, and not even marriage then, but to what a PK kid is. And so I was trying to discover who I really was. So I think once I got a little bit older, around the age of about 17, 18 years old, I had someone that came in my life that was very inspirational in the LGBT community. And she helped me kind of understand truly what I wanted to be or what I am. And she gave me one key advice of don't put labels on you until you understand it yourself. And when I told my family, or when she helped me tell my family, to be honest with you, um, it was they. I think my mom was just okay. I think she thought it was just a phase, but it wound up being more than just a phase.
Yeah, yeah. I hear that a lot from people who went through that whole discovery phase in their life,
Hmm.
and we hear so many times that parents say, "Oh, it's just a phase. You get out of it and stuff." But as time progresses, you realize it's not a phase. This is something
Facts.
that I'm living in my own truth.
Exact, and it's who I am. And what I realized, you can't allow other people to dictate who you are. And if you know who you are, then you're able to walk in that in truth, you know? And so I think my family, yeah, they had what they thought I wanted, or, what they wanted for me. But I learned a little bit about me and what I like, and it wasn't lining up to what they actually wanted.
Yeah. Now, then, what about your husband? Is your husband, or when you met him,
Uh-huh.
for the first time, like what was that conversation like when you broke the ice, telling him, or unless he found out on his own
Oh,
about
no, no, no.
your
I told him. I told him. I told him
okay.
on the first date. I told him a lot on my first date. And, I told him, hey, that I am, well, not, I didn't full out tell him on the first date. I think as we got grow closer into our relationship, because you got to remember, when we first got married, we was technically still dating each other. We just knew, I like you, you like me, and I don't want to see myself without you. And we just jumped in. But in the process of us jumping in, we were still dating each other. And so I remember having a full out conversation with him while we were watching Real Sex and on HBO.
The real
He
sex from HBO. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So he knew I liked females, but I think I went into full details after we saw an episode about swinging. And we saw like the girls, into each other, and the guys, it was
Right.
crazy. And so I was like, okay, this is my opportunity to just be authentic and real. My past relationships, and even I talk about it in my book, it wasn't healthy when I brought up the topic. They always thought it was like, oh, they're, in the words of my husband, we do a seminar, as their golden ticket to a threesome. And that wasn't what I wanted. I was bisexual before my husband. I've been bisexual from the beginning. So this is my identity that I, identify as. So when I told him, he was like, well, if that's what you like, that's what you like. And I was like, wait, hold up. You don't have any, questions. He said, no, you'll tell me when you're comfortable. And that made it so open for me to be able to be, tell him everything. Then I wanted to
Yeah.
tell him all of it.
So basically, he provided a safe space for you
Yes.
at the time. Okay. Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
what is different. A lot of people don't do that. They don't provide a safe space for their spouse to without any judgment.
Yeah. Now, what if the tables were turned, right? And you on
Okay.
the date, and he tells you that he's bisexual, and you could not be a part of the LGBTQIA community. You could just be full heterosexual. Like,
Mm.
how would you, as a woman, how would you take that? Because in society, there is still a such thing as double standard.
Yes. Okay. So I can be my real self here, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. As a woman, even being heterosexual, I think my crazy mind would be like, yes, let's talk about it. You know, let's go into details about it because I feel like I would be so hypocritical if I'm saying here, I want him to accept me for who I am. And in turn, I'm not going to accept him for who he is, you know?
Right.
So if that was the case and that was a scenario that came to me, I think I would be a-okay because if that's who you are, that's who you are. I have to love you regardless of the title that you're put in here or the labels that you put on yourself. I gotta love you no matter what. And that's because I choose to be with you.
Yeah. So speaking of WAOK, right? A few years ago,
Yes.
I was a part of a show called Love and Relationships. Uh,
Yes.
I was not only the producer, but I was the host of Love and Relationships on 1380 WOK every other Sunday. And I remember at the time I was working with radio personality CJ, or he goes by C to the J, or was went
Hmm.
or by C to the J, and then Gabby. It was a young lady that Gabby and I did a show together, and we did a topic about would you date a person who dated the same sex as
Hmm.
them. And I remember bringing a young lady at the time who I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag, Ladee Vee. This young lady and I went together. We were
Okay.
we were boyfriend and girlfriend. But I
Okay.
also invited her to the show along with one or two other guests to have that
Hmm.
conversation. And in real time, she revealed to the audience, including me, that she was bisexual.
Oh wow.
And the whole room went, whoa, okay, because you see this woman, and people have this preconceived notion that when they
Hmm.
see a woman who doesn't show the signs of her being bisexual or being gay or whatever, they automatically assume that she's heterosexual. If you were to see her in person or see a picture of her, you would not have known she's heterosexual.
Hmm.
I'm not heterosexual, I'm sorry, bisexual.
Bisexual. Uh-huh.
Right. Um, but we also asked her the question, well, with you being bi, would you date a guy who also dated or had sex with men in the past? Her answer was yes. Yes,
Hmm.
I would. And the reason is because she says that, well, the past is the past. You with me now. And how she describes the scenario is, well, this is a table for two, not for three, not for four, not for five, but this is a table for two. So whether
Hmm.
you've been with a dude or you've been with a woman, that was in the past. You with me now because it's something that you like about me.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
thought it was a very fair answer.
It
Would you?
is. I would agree. That's beyond a fair answer. Like, I feel like because even when it comes down to my relationship, my husband and I, that's our primary relationship. I also have other relationships outside of my primary relationship. So, but at the end of the day, the primary is my foundation. So if the foundation is not solid, anything else is not going to work. So with me, even in my bisexuality, I'm honest and I'm honest with all my lovers, but I'm honest, especially to my husband, and I give him that choice and make sure he knows what I desire and who I am. And everybody doesn't have that space to be that or to be themselves or to even accept anything different than a norm, you know? Oh, so everybody doesn't have that space, but I'm happy to have that space where it gives me that openness to
But
be
why is
myself and to be able to accept everybody else for who they are.
But why is it that in society it's somewhat acceptable for a woman to be with another woman, but not for a guy to be with another guy? I mean, it's we see it more than ever before, but
Hmm.
why is that double standard like I just mentioned a few moments ago?
I think it's because of people lack of knowledge. And a lot of people are stuck in tradition. So they're stuck there. They can be the biggest whatever out there doing whatever, but when it comes down to them talking about a guy and a guy together, it's like, oh, the judgment comes, you know. They could be the biggest alcoholic out there, but oh, they're gay, you know. And they don't give guys and females the freedom to be their self and to love whoever you love. Like, I think when America stop or people stop wanting to control people's bedrooms, it'll be a little bit better in life. Because why do you feel the need to control? We control everything. People time for when they come to work. You know, we control everything. Why do we feel the need to control the bedroom?
I don't know. I don't know why people are even in other people's business behind closed doors.
Exactly.
mean, I'm a firm believer that whatever you do behind closed doors is meant
It's
to
your
be.
business.
It's your business. There you go.
There you
There you go.
go. Now,
Yeah.
unless you want to be like me and then open up what I do behind closed doors and these wonderful bugs, and yeah, be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Even in adult entertainment in the porn industry, like
Uh-huh.
back to the double standard thing, right? I've seen where it would be women on women, but not so much of men on men. You would see threesomes, right? You would see, you know, what is it? Is other activities that are
Uh-uh.
in,
MFMs, MMFs, all of that great stuff.
yeah,
Yes. But I think it's also in your search engine because, you know, my mind goes a little deep. So I go searching and it's there. It's just got to be searched for, if that makes sense.
right, right. Well, nowadays the internet, which a
Hmm.
lot, or even myself, consider it to be the wild, wild west. You
Of
can
course.
you can access anything that you want to watch.
Yes.
Unlimited porn, right? There have been, well, of course, now with legislation that has been passed since the beginning of this year, where there are some sites that have prohibited,
They're
rest-
prohibited.
they're
Yes.
prohibited and restrictions where you have to show verification or show your photo ID
Hmm.
to enter into certain sites as of this year, January 2026. But before then, oh, you can go to any X-rated site that you want to without any
And
type of
get,
verification. And how do you feel as a person working in the adult entertainment industry? And I'm glad that we brought you on to ask this question. How do you feel about the changes in the entertainment, in the adult slash porn entertainment industry, with all these restrictions and things that you got to do to access these sites? What are your thoughts on that?
okay, so from take it from you from a person who had their material actually taken and put on another site without my permission. These legislation and laws, they become a little restricted for us, but then it's also to protect us in a way. Because you don't want everyone having access to your content, but you do want your content to be shown. You see, there's a difference there. So when it comes down with the legislation and the laws that's been passed, I may not like it as much, but when I look at the protection that is given, I rather accept what is, allowed as far as the protection portion. Now, if they can also protect like our content from not being taken.
Uh-oh, Lady V, I think we lost you. We lost you. Oh man, the conversation was it was getting so good. We lost you, Lady V. If you can come back on and get your camera to work again, we can bring you back on. For those who are just tuning in to the Beat Break Morning Show this morning, this evening, whatever time zone you are watching us, we're talking to the one and only Lady V. We got her in the studio, and you can comment on anything that we're discussing thus far pertains to the adult entertainment industry and her latest, as well as her new book, The Buying Me and The Buying Me Too, which is available right now. I think we got her back on. Let's see.
Yes.
There we go. I don't know what happened.
I
It
don't know what happened either. I was just
powers
talking
that
and it
be.
just went blank. And I'm like, wait.
Yeah, the
But I'm
powers
happy
that
to be back.
I think the powers that be wanted to shut you down because you were revealing too much on the show.
I don't think I can. Are you
I,
able to hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
It's not allowing me to hear you.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. We're going to refresh the studio. We're going to take a break. We will be right back after these messages. We're going to work around these technical difficulties because the powers that be don't want us to have this real conversation. Ladee Vee in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all keep it locked right here. It is the Beat Break Morning Show. And make sure you go to our YouTube channel, the Beat Break AM Show, and be a new subscriber there. We will be right back.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Hello? It's not allowing me to hear you. Are
Yeah.
you muted?
Let me see. I am not muted.
I just saw you said you're not muted.
I am not muted. So you can't hear me at all.
I hear you.
Okay. Log off and then log back in. If
Okay,
you can.
you want me to hang up and call back?
Yeah. Hang up.
Perfect.
All right. But for my audience there, you can put in the comment section if you can hear my audio. I'm going to assume that you all can hear me. I can hear myself, obviously, but we're going to work it out, ladies and gentlemen. This is live radio. This is live television. So anything can happen during a live broadcast, especially when you're having such a great one like the one that we have in this evening. So for those who are just tuning in to the Beat Break Morning Show, we're talking to author Ladee Vee in real time live here on the Beat Break Morning Show as she discusses her new book, The Buying Me Too. Now, there are two versions. There's a part one, and then there's a part two. There is The Buying Me, which is already available, and The Buying Me Too, which is now available on Amazon. Let's see if we can hear her now, or she can hear me. Ladee Vee, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, perfect.
Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I just want to make sure for sure.
Yes.
All right. Got the thumbs up. Got the thumbs up. All right.
We have thumbs up.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, perfect.
Live radio. Anything could happen. Ladee Vee is in the building, but we are so glad to bring you back on. So let's pick up where we left off at.
Sure.
Now, we were talking about the state of the porn industry now, with the restrictions involved, things being prohibited to a certain extent. And you was telling us, you was finishing your thoughts about your assessment to all these new changes that are implemented to not only protect certain eyeballs to access that type of content, but to also protect the entertainers and the content creators that are involved in this particular industry. So I want you to go ahead and pick up where you left off at in your
Yes,
assessment.
I think it works both ways. Yes, we want to make sure that we're not, that the age consent is correct. When you want to make sure everything is in place, but on the same token, right? As an entertainer, we want to also be and feel protected. So when things does arise that people are being charged and people are being, penalized for their actions when it comes to like stealing people's content or even using their content and changing and, it's so many things that they've been doing out here that is ridiculous. And a lot of people have been suffering even with their content and making money. Because if you have someone that's taking people content and putting it on like free platforms, then the entertainer is not getting paid for what they're doing. And that is not right.
Mm-hmm. The game has changed now
Yes.
over the past decade or so. Now you have OnlyFans. OnlyFans
Yes.
out for a minute now, and
Mm-hmm.
some people have criticized OnlyFans or sites like OnlyFans because we do know that there are similar places, similar sites that are somewhat a replica of OnlyFans,
Yes.
but OnlyFans happens to be the top tier. And criticize and some pushback towards OnlyFans because it feels like it's taking away the artistry from the porn stars and from the adult entertainers that's been doing this for a long time. And if you are an up and coming, say for example, you're an up and coming adult film star, I don't necessarily have to go to such and such place. I don't necessarily have to go to a porn hub or to this
Mm-hmm.
platform or that platform. I can just simply go on OnlyFans. I don't have to go to all of the channels. What are your thoughts on that?
But see, that's like me. Now, a lot of my content is exactly on OnlyFans because it gave me somewhere where I can upload my stuff. I already know everyone that's getting my content has been vetted and approved through their verification system. So they built this platform because they're able to verify their users. They're able to go on, with their content, making sure that their content is somewhat protected as much as they can. And when it's a rise, they do have a customer service line that does help, not line, but email that does help when you do have issues. Because I've used them myself. So it's because a lot of people feel somewhat that their content can be a little bit safer on this platform. Now, are there other platforms out there? Yes. OnlyFans is not the only one. But, it's
That's
just
not the
doing
only one. I
it's
like to.
not the only one, but it's other platforms. But I always say, do the research, read what they offer. And if it doesn't align with what you want for your content, then move on and find something different. There's too many platforms out here for you not to make money.
Can I make a confession? I actually tried to become an OnlyFans entertainer.
Did you?
Yeah, entertainer or creator. One
Uh-huh,
of
uh-huh.
tried to be one. I could
And
not
tell me
get
what happened.
I could not get past the verification process because their verification process is very weird. You got
Ah,
if you know what I'm talking about, you gotta hold up a photo ID. It's like a certain
yes.
you gotta hold up the photo ID. I was like, man, this is too much work.
But you want to make sure the stuff is correct, right? You want to make sure that you protect it.
I mean, yeah, I just think their process is weird though. I mean,
It
it could
gets
be
a little
it could
challenging.
be
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. Trying to do it by yourself and you don't have somebody to take a picture of you. You doing everything like I'm holding up my phone. I am holding up the ID in my hand and stuff like that. I'm doing too much, Lady V.
Yeah. You're
I'm
like,
doing
I don't
too
want to
much.
do all this work.
Yeah, this is
But
too
in
much.
order to make money, you gotta put in a little bit of work, right?
I want to put in the work. I don't want to do too much work. I want to put in the work.
I look, put in the work. And what kind of content were you trying to do on there?
Well, okay, so true story, right?
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
here for it.
we got this thing called Forbidden Honey erotic pay-per-view. We
Hmm.
put it out there last year in 2025. For those that don't know or did not know in the past, Forbidden Honey Erotic Pay-Per-View is or was a add-on subscription based platform to the already Honey streaming app channel.
Mm.
And I also welcomed a few content creators, adult content creators to be exact, to be a part of what we're doing and everything. And so basically, I wanted to do something with certain people that I recruited into the
Uh,
network, and they were all like amped up and were excited, had some ideas and stuff like that. But then over time, everybody wanted to do their own thing, or some people just could not get back in contact with me. I lost touch with a few people and stuff,
mm.
and I'm just like, yeah, you're not gonna put me in a position where I'm doing all the work, because like I said, I had to literally hold up a photo ID and a phone to
You
go
did
through
the hard work.
to go through the verification process.
It's
So if this process is difficult, then it's even more difficult to bring people on to help you with a subsidiary of Honey to bring forth some erotic content to a mature audience, of course.
uh,
And you don't have the people in place to help you out with that.
very true. But you know why? Because like you said, so many entertainers already have different platforms that one they either build from the ground up, or two, they're on other platforms that they rather have that kind of ownership to their content.
That's true. That's true. And by the way, too, for those that's been wondering, with Forbidden Honey Erotic Pay-Per-View, we have brought in, and shout outs to Yoni Whisperer, the Yoni Whisperer, for being somewhat like the voice in the face of Forbidden Honey Erotic Pay-Per-View. If you're listening, big shout outs to you. We got to catch up, by the way, the Yoni Whisperer. I had a conversation with him, and I was just telling him that everybody is not meant to do this sort of thing because they want to do certain things, but they also have day jobs. They also
Hmm.
have other things going on in their life where
Facts.
they don't want to tarnish it. You know what I
That is
mean?
true.
So I had to kind of go back to the drawing board and think of some other innovative ways that I could do to still give the mature audiences
Hmm.
something to watch or something to listen to, and not have the adult content creators feel like they're being exploited.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And giving them something that no one else is giving them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's coming from more of a messaging slash um with integrity type of place. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I'm a firm believer that I don't want to just put something out there because everybody else is doing it, but I don't want to put something out there that doesn't come from a place of ratchetness or something that degrades a certain group of people or a certain community
Yes.
and everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want to put something out there that's sexy, of course, because in the time we're in, still in, Lady V, sex still sells. I
Sex is
can't.
always gonna sell. Always. Like however way you look at it, it's always gonna be something that generates income. No, and even people would say, even during COVID, you saw how much sex sells. So many
Oh
people.
man, let me tell you, man. Let me tell
Oh
you.
my gosh, that was
Only
one of the most monies I made during that time.
Man, wait a minute, wait. Say that one time. Look at how much? I'm just curious to know how much. Like, give me an estimate. Give me a
Oh
number.
no, I can't give out that information.
It was like
But
close to
it
like a
was
million.
definitely, I would say it's definitely was something more than what I normally bring in, because you had people that were home all day, all
Absolutely.
night, and they couldn't go anywhere. So they looked for online presence to satisfy any kind of fetishes or any kind of feelings they were having. So yes, during COVID, that a lot of entertainers made a lot of revenue through the online platforms.
So you're not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it, Lady V. Lady V made over $1 million.
No, I didn't. I hope I'll make that soon, though.
Lady V made over $1 million.
I hope I make that soon, very soon.
But you're right, though.
I look. I appreciate you manifesting it for me. Okay.
But you're right, though. I mean, people were getting paid during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Especially with OnlyFans, and OnlyFans tripled. I mean, because it been
Exactly.
for COVID, but then when COVID hit, um, OnlyFans started getting new users.
Because people found other, because OnlyFans is not just for sex. See, a lot of people get it twisted. They're like, oh,
I'm going to ask you the misconception behind OnlyFans.
yeah, you got people that actually sits in a chair and have lingerie and read stories and read books. It's for whatever you want it for. That's what's there. You have foot fetishes, so people that's attracted to feet and they want to see all kinds of feet. Pictures with maybe a watermelon and your feet is covering they're into anything. There's a kink for everyone. And that's what OnlyFans for. Is for what you use it for.
Mm-hmm. Just as long as you keep the toes clean, you know what I'm saying? As long as your feet is
Let me
clean.
find out you into a little bit of feet.
I mean, you don't want to pay to watch somebody's
Of
feet
course not. Exactly.
full of blisters and
Uh-uh. But you
Hey,
know what? There's some people that's into that. It's some people that's really into that. You'd be surprised.
yeah, I know, but still, though, I mean, it's some people. Notice you said some people.
Some people. Because, like I said, it's a kink for everyone. It just depends on what you're into.
Oh, man. The Lady V in the building right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Let's go to the question. Live to the Beat Break Morning Show. And if you're commenting, make sure you like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, the Beat Break AM Show. That is the new YouTube handle. It's not Reach One Network anymore. It's not Beat Break Radio anymore. It's the Beat Break AM Show. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're watching us in real time. Let's go to the comment section. Hey, cousin, what's going on now, cousin? Shouts to Buffy, by the way. I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to continue watching this episode now. Any other episode, yes, but this episode right here.
Now, cousin may be into something now. Come on now.
This is my cousin Buffy. She's let's just say she is of the word. Hallelujah.
You know what? You be like us. You be surprised. You be surprised. My cousin, who is in church heavenly, came to my book signing and grabbed my book, and she called me immediately yesterday to tell me she finished the book, and she actually finished it today, but she had started it and couldn't put it down, and she was like, this is good. And she's a hallelujah. But she was like, my story is more than just bisexuality, but it's about my struggles in my life. So it takes you through a journey, and that journey just have to include sex here and there.
Of course, of course. Oh dang, we lost Lady V again. Now Lady V is upside down. Can you still hear me? You went out for a moment.
Oh no, you're good. I can hear you.
All right, cool. Lady V in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you comment in the comment section. You can at me at Sean Garvey ATL on Instagram and leave your comments there. All right, so let's get into the book. And let's talk about your first book, because there's a part 2 to your part 1, which is called The Buy in Me, available on Amazon. Now, who idea was this? Because it's you and your husband. you all are, to me, you all are like a power couple. By the way,
Oh, thank you.
say that because whenever I see you all at events, at at adult porn events and stuff like that, I see you all supporting each other and everything. But when it comes down to your book, though, like let's talk about the beginning stages. Any involvement with your partner in this book?
Oh, yes. Okay, so my book is roughly loosely on my life. And it talks about how growing up in my, like, everybody wanted to know who was Lady V,
Okay.
and how did I come up with being Lady V. And so it took me 8 years to write this book. When I first started this book, it was both books in one. And my editor at the time was like, this book is too juicy to just be one book. And so she was like, you're going to have to break this up into phases. So I started the first book with talking about something, like I said earlier, very dear to me, is me dealing with me being molested, and by my grandfather's preacher best friend. And it was one of the hardest, it's the first chapter of the book, but it was one of the hardest chapters that I had to write. And it was, yes, it was, my book is about bisexuality, but I take you through my journey, because it wasn't just, hey, I kissed a girl and I liked it. No, my innocence was taken from the beginning. And so my innocence was taken from the beginning. And so automatically, I was very vulnerable at a certain stage in my life. And I take my readers through this. I take them through my dating life, and how upside down and roller coaster my life was. But I give them, you will cry, you will laugh, you will feel horny, you'll feel all of it all in one. And I couldn't just leave it off. And I left it at a real cliffhanger for this on the first book, but I couldn't just leave it as it is. And we had to come back with the second book, and to give them a little bit more depth of me and my husband's relationship. So he is in the first book, but towards the very end.
Mm, mm. In the book, The By and Me, you go from the early ages in your life as a baby, as a kid, and like you mentioned, being molested, and how traumatic that must have been for you. Very traumatic, very, very sad.
Mhm.
And then, you go from that, and then now you have come to the realization that you're living in your truth as being bisexual. What happened like after some of those areas in your life? Like what happened next afterwards, after the college years, and you're now a full adult in the real world and everything? Can you talk to us some of the struggles that you went through that you later overcame by being bisexual, by living in your truth? Can you talk about those adversities for a moment? That
Yes, I mean, I went through just trying to understand what the meaning and how I wanted to have this newfound amazingness, okay, in my life. Because right after I went through the trauma, I, started having my first girlfriend, and me, actually going through the steps of dating a female, and how, the contrast from later on being married, but dating a female and dating a guy, and try to live that Christian life, and, that being that monogamous for my family, but the background I was doing me, if that makes sense. And
Mhm.
so it was the identity issue that I was dealing with. It was me trying to understand who I really am, and what really makes me happy. So when I was able to find my husband, because right before I went through a very harsh relationship and was very abusive. And he would use my bisexuality against me. compared to being for me, if that makes sense. He would say some really harsh things. So at first, it was really hard for even me to open up to my husband. At first, I told him yes, but I was scared that he was going to do everything else that everyone else did, and he didn't. So I would, just the growing pains between me discovering who I am and then me living my truth. And then also, I went through confidence issues because I've always been a plus size female. Okay, even in my book, they used to call me the fat church girl, and I took those hurtful words and turned it into power because you only allow things that if excuse me if I'm saying it wrong, but when you allow words to hurt you, then they become that hurt that you live by. I didn't want to live by hurt. I
Right.
wanted to live by being victorious. I can get through this. This is not what they call me, but it's what I answer to.
Exactly. Exactly. Now let's stay on that for a moment. Let's stay on the sexual orientation thing, right? Because like
Yes.
I said, more people are coming out. There's shows now. There's shows. There's movies. There's even
Mhm.
cartoons, animated shows that are highlighting the sexual lifestyle, the sexual orientation. Do you think, with where is that now, do you think we can kind of be a bit overzealous in promoting that type of lifestyle to viewers? You know what I mean? Like, are we becoming overzealous? And if so, what are some limitations on what we can and cannot do, or how we can express ourselves freely, but in a way where we're not being overzealous, if that makes any sense.
To be honest, that goes back to, trying to control people's
Mm.
bedroom experience or their lives, right? Um, I don't believe it's overzealous, but I do believe that the conversation is there. It's been there. And I think to try to avoid it and say it's not, or try to say, oh, yeah, we need to just push monogamous relationships. No, because then you're not pushing the truth, because there's a variety of different relationships. There's a variety of different relationship statuses with everyone's family. No one is just the same. And if we really push that narrative of just monogamy, are we being honest with the people?
It's interesting you say that, because nowadays you have so many relationships. You have so many different type of
Umbrellas,
umbrellas of relationships. You have polyamorous. You have uh,
facts.
throuples, and all these different types of relationships and stuff like that. Even in the dating scene, I have came across women myself, i.e.,
Mhm.
Sean. I've came across women that were open to being in open relationships.
And it's a lot of us out here.
Yeah, that came from monogamous relationships, and they find out, it didn't work for them or whatever, and so I'm gonna try this type of lifestyle.
And
But
that's okay. Like,
yeah.
that's honestly okay when you allow people to choose what works for them in their relationship.
Mm, mm,
See, me and my husband, our relationship is unconventional. Yeah, we've been married for 22 years, which is the best part, okay, of my relationship, is because we went through a lot of ups and downs and learning each other, but we allow also each other to grow and evolve. You
mm.
understand? Because I'm not the same person he married 22 years ago. I'm better yet, I'm not even the same person he was with a year ago, because we allow each other to evolve into who you really want to be.
Can you expound on that, please? I mean, for all the single people like myself out here, right? Because we've heard that before. We outgrew each other and stuff. I'm not the same person that I was before. Like, what does that mean in a sense? Because I mean, does it mean that, okay, you grown as a person, so does that mean that we can't go to certain places anymore that you used to like, or we can't have
Oh
the
no.
like, what does that really mean? Explain
It's
to me.
just maturity, right? So I know I'll give you just a brief example, right?
Okay,
When I
sure.
was in my 20s, early 30s, I was in the club with my husband. We were, man, we was in Magic City. We was hitting all the clubs, okay?
Making it rain. Y'all were making it rain.
Yes, barely getting sleep, waking up the very next morning, came in at 4 o'clock, waking up at 6 o'clock to go to work and be there for 8 hours. Let me do that now at my big grown age at 43. Like, that's a 44. That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be sleep in the club. Like, if I don't get a nap before I get there, then yeah, my body is not going to do the same thing and then try to get up for work.
Yeah.
No. So if you look at that, you look how your body evolves. That's how our mind should evolve. We grow, we mature. Not to say that I won't go to a nice jazz club, not to say that I won't go out, but maybe the club scene is not for me right now because that's not where I'm at in my
Right.
life.
Yeah. I mean, the club didn't outgrown you. You outgrown the
Grown
club.
age,
That's
facts. And
that's just what.
sometimes with certain things, even in relationship, I outgrown arguing. I don't like arguing. It doesn't do my pressure any good. It doesn't do my body and how I feel. But I do like conversation. I do like communication. So we allow each other to communicate without judgment.
Mhm. All
So
right. Yeah. So I have a question. Okay, because
sure.
there's some viewers that are watching this. Some may not be able to relate to what you're saying, and some people that are watching this that may not be able to relate to what you're saying. They're asking the question, well, Lady V, you came out as bisexual at the age of 12, and then you move forward from there. You got with a man, and it sounds like to me this man who is now your husband after 20 years so he is heterosexual, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now somebody is listening and could be like, okay, well, why are you not married to a woman? Why are you not putting your energy more into a woman that you would put into a man? What do
Why
you
do
have?
I have to? Why
I
do
mean,
I?
that's what some people are asking. That's what some people tend to ask. Because there are people that don't understand, Lady V.
I got you.
That don't understand the community, right? Because
I
like
got you.
like a woman can say, "Hey, I'm bisexual," right? And
Mhm.
somebody outside the community say, "Oh, you bisexual? Oh, you gay? You gay? Then you're a lesbian, right?" But you like what you like. You like both men and women. And then
Yes.
you're like, okay, and then somebody might ask you, well, Lady V, which one you like better, men or women? You
There
got it.
is no better. I like them equally. I like the masculinity and the femininity
Okay.
in a person. So I wouldn't be married to a female because God didn't give me a female to marry. He gave me my husband. And if my husband just accepts me for who I am, so he allows me to be who I am because he loved me unconditionally. So yes, I can't say, hey, I should be with a female. No, that's not who God gave me. God gave me my husband and he gave me him, gave me to him. So we are aligned. And that's how my parallel work. Now, am I able to enjoy the company of a female all day long? Yes. And so is he. And so it's no more, it's no one-sided. We love each other regardless, no matter what.
Oh wee, it's about to get hot up in here. Listen, I
Yeah.
am. I put the StreamYard link in the chat here via YouTube. So if
Hmm.
any of you, especially cousin Buffy, if any of you all want to come on, we are allowing you the opportunity to come on live right here on the Beat Break Morning Show and have a conversation or ask Lady V some questions, especially when
Oh,
the subject at hand with the hypocrisy against people of the LGBTQIA community, and whatever you want to get off your chest, please
Oh, Lord.
jump on the StreamYard link. You
But you
see
know
it?
what, Sean? I got to a point where I think with people, people gonna judge you no matter what, right?
Right, right.
Even if you could be in church and you could wear a tight outfit, they were like, oh, they're gonna smile, but then soon after church, they be like, oh, you see what sister so and so had on. There's judgment no matter what, but as long as the foundation, which is the foundation of your marriage is solid, it don't matter what the hecklers and the naysayers say.
Yeah. Do you cover this in your book as well? The
Yes,
judge.
I do. And I
Okay.
talk about jealousy. I talk about um even when my husband introduces, had a situation, I could say, without giving out too much from the book. But he had a situation with getting to know a female. And I talk about how I felt. And I even wanted to yell at myself in the book, like, what are you doing? Why would you be such a hypocrite? But I give
Mhm.
my readers the authentic truth and my feelings and what I was dealing with during the time.
Right. Yeah. All of this is now. Which book? Which version? The Buying Me or the Buying Me Two? Just for clarity purposes.
Okay, the buying me,
Okay.
honestly, is from my early age up until I met my husband.
Okay. Okay.
And it does talk about my abusive. It talks about everything. It talks about me being a stripper and a madam, and I was with a minister who was a pimp. I talk about it all in
Wow.
this book. This is the
Wait,
foundation portion before
you was
the
with a
buying
minister?
me too came.
Wait, you was with a minister?
Yes,
And
who was I? Yeah, it's one of my favorite chapters in this book. It's called King and I. And I met King through a job that I had, and he was a pimp who was also a minister. And he would preach at my grandfather's church. Like, I talk about how I found the ladies for him, and how even I had one of my friends' moms being a stripper during that time. I go into it. It is deep.
please don't tell me the pimp slash pastor name is. I-
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. It's no name. And every name in my book has been changed because I'm not telling anyone else's story. I'm telling my own.
yeah, yeah.
So now the second book, which is The Buying Me 2, both of
That's it.
these you can get on Amazon. The Buying Me 2 is, I love this book completely. I love both of them. But this book talks about, my wedding day. It talks about my mom not showing up for my wedding, which was something that was very traumatic for me. It talks about me and these threesomes and foursomes, and it talks about my birth and my children. I give it such a roller coaster that you don't know how to feel from chapter to chapter,
Mm,
but it's
wow.
a good read.
I bet. I bet. Yeah. I mean, how can you top the Buying Me with the Buying Me Too?
Yes.
How can you top that one?
And even talking about me being in a relationship with a masculine female, like a stud, and that was my first stud, and I talk about it and how her and my husband conflict. I go, I'm very authentic, but I wanted the reader to feel how Lady V felt in that moment.
Wow. What is something that you and your husband? I want to get in deep in for a moment. What is something that
Okay.
you and your husband have not done with each other before that you would both love to do at some point in time? And it may not even be mentioned in the book.
Oh wow. I want to open up a space where people can come, and I think both of us want this. We want to open up a space where people can come and not feel judged. They get advice about their sexuality. They get advice about even clinical health. They get advice about therapy and being able to speak to a therapist on hand and, get coaching. I want to be able to just have a space where there's no judgment,
Mm.
if that makes sense. Because I feel like, and we talk about this often, so many times we put up these, masks. We got to go to work and we got to wear a mask. We got to go to church. We got to wear a mask. We got, even with our friends, certain friends you can't be your 100 self with, but you can be, they're associates, I
Right.
want a space where you can come and just be you, and
Mm.
what capacity that looks, as long as it's the best version of yourself.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
And I think that's something me and my husband want to achieve.
Yeah. I can tell you right now in Atlanta, there are a few places like that.
Yes,
There.
yes, and just be you. And how that looks, I want it to look very delicious.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Ladee Vee in the studio with us. You can comment in the comment section on Instagram, Facebook, and on our YouTube channel at the Beat Break AM Show. And how do you want people to address you as? Because right now you're the author. You're our guest on the show, but you're the author of these two books, The Buy Me, The
Yes.
Buy Me Too. And for somebody that comes up to you, whether they come up on the streets or come to you at an event or whatever, and they may say, hey, I seen you on the Beat Break Morning Show with that funny looking dude Sean Garvey. Y'all were talking about porn and sex and all that other stuff. Like, how how do people address you as, or what kind of title do you like to give to people?
Well, to everyone, I'm a intimacy and relationship coach. But when you address me, you can address me as Lady V, but also respect me in public spaces, because I'm also, outside of being a author and, an educator and intimacy and relationship coach, I'm also a mom. I'm also a wife. I'm also, so I'm also, a bonus moms for so many people. So I also like that privacy and respect as well. So I'm always, always open to get a hug. You see me on there, and they can say, "Hey, I've met people," because we also were on CNN with "This Is Life with Lisa Ling," season 6, episode 7. So a lot of people recognize us from there, and they'll see me in public. My always give me respect. At the end of the day, I get the best hugs. Okay, but
Yeah,
if you come up to me respectfully, then you'll be able to experience that side of me.
yeah. So really quick,
Sure,
within the few minutes that we have here on the Beat Break Morning Show, because I'm enjoying this conversation.
I'm enjoying this too. You got to bring me back,
We got, oh yeah, we got to definitely bring you back.
and we got to bring on a husband as well.
You got to bring on the husband. We got to bring on some couples. We got to bring on some
Yes.
people. Oh we. I don't know what I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna bring something to the show.
Yes, to the show.
bring,
Yes.
bring something to the show. It'll be an after hours version of the Beat Break Morning Show.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. So you got a book signing this Saturday.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So let us know where it's going to be taking place at, and
Oh,
what
well,
can people.
actually, no, no, no. We just actually had my book signing this
Oh,
past Saturday.
okay.
Yes, we had comedian Big Mama come in, and she did a absolutely job from up north, from New Jersey. My next book signing I'm doing is going to be in New York. And so I'm going back to my hometown, New York, and that's going to be on September 12th.
Oh wow. Okay. So for clarity purposes, you and your husband had the book signing here in Atlanta.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh man. I was
Yes, we just did it one Saturday and it was amazing.
in person.
I to the point that my husband actually asked me if I wanted to do a part two to that book signing. And I'm not against it. I just haven't, figured out if I want because so many people wanted to come that wasn't able to. So
Yeah.
if I can, figure that out, then I'll make it happen.
Because I gotta make it. I gotta make it out there. I gotta make it out.
Yes.
And just only imagine what it looks like at the book.
Yes, it
Like,
it
it,
was so it was amazing.
can you be descriptive? Like what took place at the book signing? Like what all did people see? What did they
Yeah,
come?
okay. Well, we interviewed I had Big Mama, she interviewed me on book number 1. And
Okay.
then my husband came in and interviewed me on book number 2.
Okay.
And that was everything because he knows this book, front to back. And he asked me some real detailed questions. I had so many people there as far as my friends and family, and they were able to get to know Lady V. So it's so much stuff that they found out about me, especially about me being a stripper. I had one of my bonus kids, well, they're adults, but my bonus babies came over and was like, I didn't even know you was a stripper, Mom. I didn't
Hmm.
know you know it. So you learn about the book and my authentic self because everything about my story is about me. I did change, like I said, the characters' names, but it's about loosely on my life. And so
Yeah.
it's easy and it's free for me to talk about.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate you for coming on and just not only telling your truth, but telling our audience about what you've been through and stuff and how it led up to you being the person that you are to now an author of these two amazing books. Definitely a
Mhm.
must read. And again, I missed out on the book signing. I was doing something else. I was somewhere else, but I would have loved to see what all people were wearing at the.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to get to because it's an intimate setting. I'm assuming, and
Uh-huh.
you promoting a book about intimacy to a certain extent. What you've been through and everything, but also sexual liberation. If I
Yes.
could describe it, so I am only imagining in my brain what the dress code was like.
The dress code was being casually by being yourself. And then we had some people that also wore our t-shirt. We also have a t-shirt line. So we have, certain people that had
Yeah.
yes, we have a t-shirt line where it's our slogan is my orgasm matter. And girl get your nuts, sis. And we also have something that's called booty meat shirt. So it's it just gives different sides of us and who we are. And I also, just to let you know, with the Atlanta show, we released the book cover for book number 3 because book 3 is coming at the end of the
That's
year.
gonna be a book three.
Yes, it's going to be a book 3. The Declaration of Lady V.
Somebody told me there was gonna be a book three.
I know. I told you now. And I told your listeners too. But
Yeah.
yes, it's going to be a book 3. And the book 3 has 2 covers. So you already know it's going to be something.
Right, right. It's definitely something. Not gonna be, it's definitely something. The Buy Me and the Buy Me 2 available right now on Amazon. And so people can go on Amazon and get their copy of the book or
Yes, please
book.
do.
Yeah, not just only part one, but part two. Get both books.
You're going to once you read part 1, you're going to regret that you didn't order part 2 at the same time. I promise you.
Okay.
It's a
Now
good read.
I gotta ask you this before we let you go. Okay.
Sure.
The Buy Me, the Buy Me 2, are we gonna see a movie in the near future? Are we going to see a doc?
Oh my gosh. I would say keep on watching. I'm working. We're working in a lab. Keep on watching.
Mm,
Keep on
mm,
watching. I
keep
just
on.
know it's something major is happening, but definitely keep on watching.
Ooh, okay. See, Lady V don't want to reveal too much. That's why I said. That's why I said earlier. I'm gonna say it for her. Lady V made $1 million doing
Oh my gosh. But you know what? You manifested for me. So yes, I received that manifestation.
Yeah, of course. Oh, now you gotta think like a millionaire. You gotta think like a millionaire. You gotta think like a billionaire if you want to see $1 million or $1 billion in your checking account. All right.
Yes,
Well,
it's going. I receive all of that. I need that in my life. So yes. But
okay.
thank you so much, John. You have been. I like you said, we've known each other for years, and I definitely respect you. I'm proud of you and all your accomplishments. And so when you have friends in your life that are so dope as yourself, it's easy to love on you and easy to show up when you need me.
Yeah, indeed. And I gotta bring you guys back on because we got just like you did a part 2 for your book. You and your husband did a part 2. We gotta do a part 2 on this conversation.
Yes, let's do it.
I got more stuff, and next time we gotta bring some guests on. We gotta bring
some
guests. Yeah.
Yes, I would love that. And you gotta go get your copy. So go get your copy, and let's definitely come back for sure.
All right, that's what it is. That's what it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen. So the Buy Me and the Buy Me Too by Ladee Vee is available right now on Amazon. And make sure you follow her on all social media. There you go. Facebook at Ladee Vee and Instagram at DV Passion. Any last words before we close out this part of the show, Ladee Vee?
I would say for anyone that's listening, no matter what lifestyle, no matter who you are, be the best authentic self that you can be. And whatever that looks like, be that. Be the best version of yourself.
Yeah. And also wear condoms as well, too.
Of course.
I'm saying,
I love that.
Hey, if you're going to be about that life, you need to treat it right. Okay?
Yes, you need to protect yourself at all costs.
Yeah, protect yourself before you wreck yourself. Ladee Vee, thank you so much for coming on the Be Break Morning Show. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look forward to having you and your husband come on.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We got more of the Be Break Morning Show coming up in just a few moments right here on WBX 107.1 FM, as well as on Podcast FM and other sister radio affiliates that you're listening to the Be Break Morning Show on. We'll be right back.
Like the rush hour traffic in Atlanta, they are full.
Here to go in the Dollar General and get what you want.
Like DJ Rome said, shopping spree at Dollar Tree.
Full of energy, of course.
The Beat Break Morning Show.